The Boutros family of Borough Park, New York, returned from a journey to Egypt in 1986. On a wall in their home, they hung an icon of the Virgin Mary that they had purchased on a visit to the convent of Demiana. Then, a strange thing happened. 8 years later, in 1994, the icon began to drip oil. Word spread like wildfire, and soon the Boutros family home was filled with visitors. And then the press arrived.
It's a common occurrence in Egypt, but the Boutros family, who came here in 1979, never expected for it to happen here in Borough Park, Brooklyn.
An icon, a picture of the Virgin Mary, is supposedly weeping, and weeping not just tears, but oil.
This painting was purchased in Egypt back in 1986. For 8 years, it has been hanging quietly on this dining room wall until this weekend, when the family claims it began dripping some kind of holy oil. The tears and the cries are real. But how about the oil on this picture of the Virgin Mary?
I look behind the picture. There's no oil-producing substance there. As you can see from the glare, there is oil. It is an interesting oil because it is very thin. It's odorless. It is thin. It's not like olive oil or cooking oil.
Roshani Boutros, whose family brought the icon to their Brooklyn home from Egypt, said the phenomenon began Saturday night. Oil, golden, odorless oil, began seeping from the icon, he said. So much oil that they were able, he said, to collect almost 2 gallons in a jar.
I do believe it's a miracle. I do believe it's a miracle.
I believed it right away.
Even before seeing it?
Uh-huh.
And after seeing it?
It's no difference. It's no difference.
TV stations covered the event from virtually every angle, and so many people descended on the Boutros home that they soon moved the weeping icon to the Coptic Orthodox Church of St. George so they could get some peace. The TV coverage continued.
It's an icon of the Virgin Mary, which apparently is dripping oil. Today the icon was moved to a church in Dyker Heights, and that's where Channel 2 is live for you right now.
It was there that Bishop Marcos of Shubra was sent by Pope Shenouda to examine the miracle for himself, and to be examined himself by the press.
Do you believe this particular one, is authentic?
Yes, of course. It's really miracle.
Media coverage was intense. Finally, though, even cynical reporters seemed to believe in the icon that wept oil.
The icon has been seeping all day. There are large quantities of cotton collected in the bottom of a tray, and the faithful going by one, receives a swab of that cotton to carry home. And this cotton to swab on places which ache, which hurt, or to place on a mantelpiece and hope for a miracle in their lives. The faithful will believe, the skeptic will look askance. But then faith cannot be measured.
Now, the painting hangs in the Church of St. George, where Father Miniani has been able to take a closer look at her mysteries. He has many observations about the icon and her miracles, including why the icon was brought to the church to begin with. When the Boutros family could not deal with the crowds, they asked St. Mary if she wanted to be moved. Father Yanni tells the story.
We began to pray, asking St. Mary. We said, St. Mary, if you want to stay here in our home, if you want to stay here, please give us a sign. If you want to stay here, stop dripping oil. If you want to go to the house of your Son, which is the church, give us a big amount of oil. She gave a big amount of oil. That is why they are sure that she wants to go to the church. I put some in a small jar. After a while I opened it and smelled it. It was like perfume. We sent some of it to the experts who analyzed the oil. They told us all the oil is 2 groups, the first from animal oil, or this kind from vegetable oil. But what kind it was they didn't know. The same scientist who did the analysis told us there was some kind of perfume that is very, very precious, but he didn't know what it was.
It all seems miraculous, doesn't it? An icon of the Virgin Mary that weeps oil for all to see and touch and smell. Perhaps it is, says Father Yanni, but he wants us all to know that grace is all around us. We need only accept it.
There are many miracles happening every day. We must accept the miracles as our faith in God. This shows that we believe in God, and God can do many things in our lives.